2 years ago, the United Kingdom never knew they had a son, 21 Savage, until the Immigration Department of the United States decided to make things interesting and reveal the rapper's true nationality. What followed was an outrage of huge proportion as fans on social media took turns to share opinions and mostly comment content about the drama. In 2019, 21 Savage was apprehended by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency in a high-profile deportation case. At that time, he was accused of overstaying a US visa from the United Kingdom that had already expired in July of 2006. What many do not know is that at that time, 21 was concurrently on the radar for allegations of felony, drug, and weapons possession that stemmed from that very same arrest. Before diving into the matter at hand, let's do a flashback of that historic moment in the hip-hop diary. Englishman in Atlanta. On Sunday, February 3rd, 21 Savage was arrested in Atlanta and taken into custody by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. In a statement released, an ICE spokesperson revealed that 21, whose real name is Shaya bin Abraham Joseph, is a United Kingdom national who is unlawfully present in the U.S. 21, via representatives, revealed that he was born in the United Kingdom. Sources further revealed he was born in London Borough of Newham. 21 Savage's management team maintained that he had been trying to renew his visa since the year 2017. The Grammy-nominated rapper and his music are so tightly associated with Atlanta that the thought of him being born in England and brought to the US felt downright bizarre. A stream of surprise tweets came after his arrest. Memes that some called cruel circulated, including one of him dressed as a Buckingham Palace guard. An old video of him talking in a mock English accent about tea and crumpets also made the rounds. In his first interview after being released from detention, the Englishman told Good Morning America that he was definitely targeted by the Immigration Enforcement Agency. "I was just driving," he said of his arrest on February 3rd, on the grounds that he's actually from the United Kingdom and overstayed his visa. "And I just seen guns and blue lights, and then I was in the back of a car and I was gone." They didn't say nothing. They just said, "We got Savage." He further stated, "I didn't know what a visa was. I was 7 when I first came here. I knew I wasn't born here, but I didn't know what that meant as far as when I transitioned into an adult, how it was going to affect my life," he explained. "I wasn't hiding it, but I didn't want to get deported, so I'm not just going to come out and be like, hey, by the way, I wasn't born here." He reiterated his love for Atlanta by saying, "I've been in Atlanta probably 19 years. He said, "I'm from Atlanta. In my eyes, I've been here 20 years. And how did this Englishman find his way into a foreign land living the American dream? Early life. Shaya bin Abraham Joseph was born on October 22nd, 1992 in London, England to British-born parents Heather Carmelia Joseph and Kevin Cornelius Emmons, who are of Dominican and Haitian descent. His twin sisters, Kyra and Jada Davis, and father continue to live in London, with Emmons taking a job at the Westminster City Council. 21 Savage's grandmother lives in Brixton. His parents separated early in his childhood, causing him to move with his mother to Atlanta, Georgia at the age of 7. In June 2005, at the age of 12, he returned to the United Kingdom for the funeral of an uncle, stayed for a month, and then arrived in the United States on July 22nd, 2005 on an H-4 visa, which is said to have expired a year later. 21 Savage's mother then began a new relationship with a British expatriate with whom she had children. He had a brother, Quantavious, who sadly passed away in a shooting after an attempted drug deal. As a child, 21 Savage had already begun to show the notorious traits that would later form his persona as a rapper. He spent his teenage life in Decatur, a rough neighborhood of East Atlanta, Georgia. He started dealing with drugs when he was 14. The rapper was arrested several times, mostly for drug possession. In 7th grade, he was banned permanently from every school in DeKalb County School District for gun possession. This caused him to begin attending schools around the Atlanta area before being directed to a youth detention center. After his release from the youth detention center, he finished 8th grade through an alternative program before finishing a semester of high school. He eventually dropped out in his freshman year as a result of multiple exclusions that he said exhausted him. After dropping out, 21 Savage joined a local street gang. He became a full-time drug dealer, mainly selling. He also took part in other criminal activities like robbery and car theft, although he was fortunate to have only been arrested once after contraband was found in the car he was driving. In 2011, when 21 Savage was 19, he lost one of his closest buddies, Larry, in a shootout. 2 years later, during an attempted robbery on his 21st birthday, 21 was shot 6 times by rival gang members, and his best friend Johnny got killed. As a tribute to his brother, who also got murdered, he got a dagger tattooed between his eyes. After the traumatic event, Savage realized that he was fed up with living life as a street thug. He then turned to hip-hop as a way out of his street life. he began investing money he made from the streets and started recording at the famous Patchwork Studios. He soon caught producer Metro Boomin's attention, leading to a fruitful working relationship between them. Music career. 21 Savage became famous in Atlanta for the 2015 mixtape, The Slaughter Tape, before attaining nationwide recognition following an EP collaboration, Savage Mode, with the producer, Metro Boomin. The EP hosts popular singles like X and No Heart. Savage also featured as a guest on Post Malone's chart-topping single, Rockstar. His debut studio album, It's the Album, peaked at number 2 on the US Billboard 200 and supplied him his first top 20 single on the Billboard Hot 100. He continued his winning streak by collecting the award for Best Rap Song for his song A Lot at the 2020 Grammy Awards, marking both 21 Savage and J. Cole's first Grammy wins. Labeled as one of the last real street guys making music by collaborator Metro Boomin, 21 Savage's music has a heavy emphasis on violent and criminal aspects of his past, including murder and drug dealing. His second album, I Am, Greater Than I Was, 2018, was met with critical acclaim, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, and spent weeks atop the charts. He continued hitting giant strides as he collaborated with the likes of Young Thug, T.I., Drake, Meek Mill, and Lil Yachty throughout his rap career. On January 18, 2017, 21 Savage announced that he had signed a record deal with Epic Records, a label under Sony Music Entertainment. For many fans, 21 Savage is more than a street rapper. There are no lies in his lyrics. The stories that he tells sounds like recollections, reliving moments that happened, or things that he's about to do. Originality is what comes to mind when his name is mentioned. To hip-hop enthusiasts, he's real, a street rapper that's very much the Savage. One listen to his music, and you're already a believer. In his early days, many saw him following the same path of Bobby Shmurda and Chief Keef, selling his soul in exchange for entrance into the music industry. If rappers like Rick Ross can create a character and reputation from a life that is largely fiction, why not enter the game with a storyline that's delivered without having to worry if it's genuine? Interestingly, his run-in with the law brought into light numerous questions on whether the man is truly what he claims to be. Savage filled our ears with the story of a boy who saw his first gun when he was only 8. A boy who grew up in a lot of beat-up-ass apartments in Atlanta with his 4 brothers, 6 sisters, mom, and his mom's boyfriend. A boy who, after bringing a gun to school in 7th grade, got banned permanently from every school. Rappers like 21 Savage bask in these type of controversies even when they don't go looking for it. It comes their way, like his case with Ice, that raised lots of questions. The public might have insight into his struggle with his papers, but what they don't know is that he's also in another kind of problem with the authorities. In fact, he's gotten himself in a lot of trouble with the law before and after his infamous 2019 deportation case. Controversies. In 2018, 21 Savage started a movement which was aimed at reducing gun violence by suggesting the use of paintball guns instead of firearms. The head of the Detroit Police Department described the movement as well-intentioned, however, misguided, after several incidents involving paintball guns resulting in injuries caused by paintball. The movements were linked to several cases of crime and homicide. 21 Savage did not comment on the matter, although he paid for the funeral of a 3-year-old who was killed in a related incident. Another controversy arose after 21 pulled out a gun during a pool party that same year in June. He had been given the firearm by a friend after seeing an opposing crew member pulling out a pistol. ASMR, a song from 21 Savage's second studio album, I Am, Greater Than I Was, caused controversy with his lyrics. The lyrics included, "We've been getting that Jewish money, everything is kosher." The lyrics were attacked for pushing negative Jewish stereotypes when LeBron James shared an Instagram story quoting the track. 21 Savage later apologized for this. In 2020, a beef between 21 Savage and American producer Young Chop came to light after Chop insulted 21 Savage on Instagram. While taking an Uber in 21 Savage's neighborhood, like the Superman that he is, Chop said that an unknown gunman fired at his car, but he was not injured. To be fair to the man, 21 Savage's music and troubles aren't the only reason he makes headlines. He has worked to help lower-income families improve their financial situation. Amber Rose, his ex-partner, worked with the rapper to fight for inclusion and anti-discrimination with events like her annual Slut Walk. Not that the people of ICE care for his generosity and compassion. A month ago, information surfaced from his case with ICE. Information that has threatened to derail the rapper's career even more. The law seems hell-bent on punishing Savage, and they might have just gotten him this time. Ghosts from the past. 21 Savage's ICE case from 2019 is back in the limelight. The rapper is now facing gun and drug charges in connection with the original incident with ICE agents. According to the county sheriff's office, Savage is facing 2 new charges related to his arrest in Atlanta back in 2019. These charges include possession of a Schedule II controlled substance and possession of a gun. Law enforcement claims that the rapper threw a container of codeine out of his car during the 2019 arrest and that a handgun was also found in the vehicle. The rapper turned himself into authorities on Thursday and bonded out right away just after 12 minutes. According to his lawyer, this is a state law charge related to his incident with ICE 2 years ago. His lawyer, Charles Kutch, made a statement saying, "Last night's manufactured charges are yet another example of how our justice system, from ICE down to the local level, unjustly targets young black men who seek to exercise their rights. There's no legitimate basis for these charges, nor for ICE's continued antics, and we will fight until Mr. Joseph is justly vindicated." To make matters worse for Savage, he's facing deportation, he can't leave the country, his ability to make a living is severely damaged, and he doesn't even have a court date. The rapper couldn't even get a work permit for 8 months, meaning he couldn't work domestically. He eventually got one, so at least now he could work in the US, but traveling abroad is out of the question until he gets things cleared up with immigration. As you should know, selling records isn't just it anymore. Artists make their money by doing concerts, and every country out of the United States is off limits to the rapper. The underlying problem, we're told, is that immigration courts are massively overcrowded with hundreds of cases. There are people who have got court dates for 2022. 21 Savage hasn't even gotten a court date, so it could take him years to resolve his case. With his new case with the law, it seems like he's doomed to a long stay in jail.